Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to another video of Marvel Contest of Champions. We are going to do a quick run through Poison, Small Arms and Kinetic Transference in 6.4.3 today. So if you're not aware about the nodes with Kinetic Transference, whenever the defender comes into you and you block the attack, they gain 10% bar power, and if it's a perfect block, they get the double the amount of power, like 20%. And also it's a poison lane, so you need to bring in poison counters, because at the start of the fight you will be inflicted with the poison, and over 60 seconds you will die if you don't bring in a poison immune. And with small arms is the attacker's heavy attack suffer a 50% attack reduction for each time you use a heavy attack, and it cannot be reduced more than 10%. Now, keeping that in mind, if you look at the defenders, these defenders are pretty straightforward. Some tough fights here are going to be Luke Cage and Nick Fury, and the mini boss is a real pain. That is going to be an encroaching stun cable with unblockable specials and a lot of power gain. So we will discuss about him more in a bit. And the boss is going to be your Darkhawk with Lionheart and power efficiency and all of those force of will nodes. So let's jump right into it, guys. But before we do, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications, and leave a comment down below of how you did this part, what was your strategy because of this annoying cable. Now the first fight is going to be against the Scarlet Witch. Now, apart from all the nodes for the path, there is also going to be enhanced abilities and critical damage. So she will be proccing more of those buffs and debuffs on you. So just try to bring in a poison immune champion here. Do not bring in a champion that is a poison resistant or can shrug it off, because it might happen that it might not shrug off, and because of enhanced abilities you will also get heal blocked and you will get a lot of debuffs on you. And also you will start the fight with short burst lockdown, so you will be heal blocked and power and armor broken for 13 seconds. So to avoid all of that, I would suggest you to bring in a poison champion to make this fight quicker. Also, if you have willpower, that will help you as well, because Scarlet Witch will apply a lot of non-damaging debuffs on you, and that can help you heal up. I am just using a She-Hulk and trying to build up those Furies to kill her off quick. You can use other champions as well, preferably use science champions for the class advantage. If not, you can check back on the first style and the start of the video. You have plenty options for this path. Defender number 2 is going to be a Dr. Octopus. Now he is a metal champion, so you can use Magneto here as well, but be wary that you will take a lot of damage with that poison. So I would suggest you not to bring it, but again, if you don't have a good choice, you can bring him as well. I'm just using a cosmic poison immune champion here, would work really well. I'm using a Hyperion. There's also Captain Marvel movie version, Kamala Khan, Ronin, Medusa. So there's quite a few options that you can use here. What I would suggest you is to keep him to an SP1 and bait that out, because it's easier to bait out. If you're not sure about the timing on SP2, then don't bother pushing him to an SP2, and then yeah, you can easily kill him off. It's not that difficult of a fight. Just keep baiting SP1 and retaliate, and he will die quick. Now, next up is very interesting. We are going against Gamora, and I've brought in Doctor Doom because of the class advantage with Mystic, and also we are using a synergy here with Doctor Strange. So whenever he will activate his aura of Azeroth, there is a 50% chance that he will purify any debuffs on him. So I've tried it the one time, it didn't work. Now the second time as I use a special one, the poison is purified. Now once there is no poison, this just becomes like a simple Doctor Doom fight. So yeah guys, you just now you can just build up to your SP3, go medium light, and go medium medium light light light, and go take an SP1 and then an SP2, and it becomes a normal Doom fight, and you can kill it off very quick. Other options that you can use here are some Mystic Poison Immune Champions. So I'm talking about your Dormammu's, I'm talking about your Dragon Man, and as well as Mephisto. Apart from those, any Poison Immune Champions will work. You have to choose your team because you really have to cater your team around the last three fights. That is going to be the boss fight, and as well as Nick Fury and the mini boss Cable. Now the next defender is going to be a Luke Cage. Now you need to be careful that because he has one node on him, that is one eye open. So whenever he is stunned and you hit him, he returns all the damage that you do to him. So you need to be careful not to use a parry, or you just have to block his hits. So when he will hit you in your block, he will gain power from Kinetic Transference. So it's very easy to push him to an SP1, and he's also very trigger happy when it comes to his specials. So you don't need to worry about him not throwing specials, just don't hit him while he's stunned, otherwise that all of that damage will be returned back to you. I have done with fight with different champions. I've done with Hyperion, I've also done this fight with Medusa, and now I'm doing it with She-Hulk. So it's a pretty simple and straightforward fight because the specials are easily evadable. The only thing you need to take care about, do not hit him when he is stunned or parried. Next up we have Captain America Infinity War. The nodes he has extra are going to be Enhanced Fury and Enhanced Bleed, so avoid getting clipped by his specials. Again, his special 1 and special 2 are easily evadable. I've just brought in She-Hulk, and this fight is giving me deja vu from 6.36 Captain America Infinity War. But again, it's a very simple and easy and straightforward fight. All you need to do is to keep pushing him to an SP1, and he will keep throwing that out, and you can go back and retaliate. You can do that with any champion. You don't need only a She-Hulk. You can do it with any poison immune champion and it will work. Or you can bring in somebody like Warlock and just use the parry heavy style. So it's really your choice you're gonna bring in. The path is really easy until you get to Nick Fury. Next defender is going to be a Quake. Now this is going to be a really interesting fight. Now I would suggest you to always push her to an SP2 if you're not able to evade her SP1 properly, because even if you get hit in a block, she will give you aftershock charges, and if you have 3 you will get stunned and then she can easily kill you off. Now there are two ways you can push her to an SP2. One is you just use 4-hit combos and block. That will force her to use a heavy attack and you can retaliate and push her to an SP2. Or you can use somebody like Hyperion who will just gain power without any attack. So you can just use SP2s and keep pushing her to an SP2 and she can die quick. Again, you can bring in any champion, any poison immune champion will work here. The only thing I would say you should be careful about is from her SP1. If you can evade her SP1, that's all cool. You will not get any aftershock charges and you won't be stunned. So that's the only tricky part of this fight. And the final defender before the damn Nick Fury is going to be Spiderman Stark Enhanced. Now I would highly suggest you to bring a poison immune cosmic champion for this fight, purely because the AI on Spiderman Stark Enhanced can be easily reset. If you're using a cosmic champion, you don't need to specifically use a heavy attack. Otherwise, if you bring in any other class, you will need to use a heavy attack before you can use special and shut off his AI. In my case, I'm gonna bring in a Hyperion and he will make really short work of him. So yeah guys, any cosmic champion, poison immune will make easy work of him. Just keep him to an SP1, don't push him to an SP2 because his specials can give you a lot of block damage, especially SP2. The path was really easy and very easy to deal with. From now on, the next 3 fights are gonna be tough. So the first one is going to be Nick Fury. So Nick Fury on his own is quite annoying, and then you have Kinetic Transference on him, so it makes him more annoying because it gives him a lot of power, and an SP1 can instantly take him to a special 3-weight Kinetic Transference if you keep blocking it. Now let's discuss how you deal with him. So first things first, I would suggest you to bring in a poison immune mutant champion. That is very important. So Iceman, Omega Red, also Apocalypse can work, as well as Rogue can work here really well, because that will reduce the number of tactical charges and he will not go unblockable much. Now once you have that down, the other thing is to deal with his specials. Now I would say if he uses a special one and you are blocking in the corner, all of those hits that are gonna go onto you, that is gonna give him a lot of power. And at sometimes I've even seen with one SP1 he goes directly to an SP3. So if he uses an SP1, I would suggest you to block half of the SP1 and then let it hit you so he doesn't get that burst of power, and you will heal back with willpower if you're running it. Now, his SP2 it's pretty easier to evade, so what I would suggest is to keep hitting him until he's almost at 1 bar of power. Once he gets there, you just swipe back and you just hold and you wait for a reparry. He will come into you, you just block the first hit and reparry the second one, and then you can push him to an SP2. You can repeat that cycle and you can bring his first life down. Now for the second life. Now before I discuss with you the second life, this fight is again Nick Fury is bugged. So if you go in this fight and you close your app and you open it up again, Nick Fury starts with his second life straight away. You don't have to do the first part. So if you want to use that, that's up to you. I don't like using that. I like the challenge of the fight, so I'm gonna play like this. Now once his second phase starts, I would suggest you to stay back and let him go down to 30%. You just play around and hit him in his block. In Omega Red's case, is going to be more helpful because Omega Red is going to get bleeds when he is trying to hit Nick Fury in his block because of Shank, and that bleed will give him more death spores on the opponent because of the death field. Now I would suggest you again to do the same thing in the second life, only this time around he will be stun immune. So you can go hit into him in his block, and when he's about at 1 bar of power you just start blocking, and when he comes in you just use a parry and a reparry, and that he will not be stunned, but that will push him to an SP2 and you can go back in and retaliate, and you can bait his SP2 and then hit him again. If you repeat this process right, you can bring him down easily. It's a difficult fight, I'm not gonna be honest with you, but if you bring in the mutant champion and you play it right, Nick Fury can be soloed, and you don't have to use any revives or units. And hello guys, welcome back, welcome to the most annoying mini boss of 6.4.3, that is going to be a Cable. Now the reason he is annoying that he has unblockable special, so his special one is already really annoying to deal with, and then apart from that he is also going to have encroaching stun, so you need to line your specials in a way that you don't get stunned, because he will just come into you aggressively and kill you off very quick. Now keeping that in mind, also you need to bring in a champion that is poison immune but also has power control. So the first champion that comes into mind is going to be Warlock. Now Warlock can solo him, but it's a very patient fight and with a lot of baiting. Second one that I've used consistently, which might surprise a lot of you, is Magic. So it takes a little time until you build up to an SP2, but once you have an SP2 and you use an 150 Mystic boost, you can just take him to a corner and corner intercept him to death. And that limbo will help you recover from, take less damage from the poison that is activated on you. If not, you can always use Vision, and Vision can also help because he is poison and immune and also has power control. But again, you will have to use a lot of parry and re-parry against him to help you out. Another option is going to be Black Widow Clear 1. You can switch to poison phase, and all of those buff immunity will try to control his power, and it will help you do a lot of damage as well. Again, if you bring in Ghost with synergy with Hood, that can also work, but it might cost you 1 or 2 revives, so there is that. And as well as there's going to be Hyperion as well, that can also relatively use 1 or 2 revives. My choice was Doctor Doom, as you've noticed, and I am going to use a synergy with Doctor Strange or Symbiote Supreme. So whenever he will activate his aura, the poison will be purified, and after that it's a pretty straightforward Doom fight. Build up to an SP3, use the SP3, get SP1 and use your specials, and he will be able to bring down Cable very easily, and it's an easy solo. Now the boss fight is going to be against the Darkhawk. This was a takedown with the Hyperion, but unfortunately while I was recording midway through the fight, my memory got full and did not record completely, but I will still show you how it can be done. So in the beginning you just parry and heavy and you build up your specials. Now there is a hurt locker node here. If you use the same special 2 times in a row, you will get like a timer on your side. If you don't use a heavy attack in that time, that it will give you a lot of damage. So it's best to alternate your specials. Now I've just used an SP3. All I'm trying to do is to push him to an SP2. Now when he goes into an SP2, you swipe back 3 times and then you use your heavy attack, and then you use the special right away. So the rotation goes, you use an SP3 and then you build up to your own SP2, and when push him to your Darkhawk to an SP2 again. When he uses a special 2, you need to do the right spacing. So usually it's like 3 swipe backs from the moment he uses his special, and once he is at the end of his special 2, you can just use your heavy and right into a special 2, and this way you can cycle the SP2 and SP3 and you can kill him off. It's a patient fight. He will regen a lot, but you can kill him off, and it is doable. I recorded this solo, but storage ran out on my phone, so this is all the fight I could record. Hopefully that conveys you the message, like how you do this fight, and you can bring it down with Hyperion as well. If not, there's always Magneto, and you can kill him like a tin can as well. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video and you found the tips and tricks helpful. If you did, guys, make sure to comment and like the video. All of that helps me out a lot, and subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. And apart from that, guys, I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time.